What's up, guys? Coming here today with some nutrition tips for you, okay? So I want to give you guys some really easy things that you can take away with right now, because like counting calories is not realistic for everybody. Even tracking your nutrition on a fitness app or anything like that is not realistic for everyone. And so there's a really awesome starting point that you can start with every single day. You can take it with you everywhere you go. That's going to be great for you to work on getting the right portions for every meal, regardless of what you choose. If you work on how much you eat over time, then it's going to get better and better as you go. It's going to actually help you get the results you want out of the gym. And so this is super important to us as a coaching staff, because we really believe that nutrition is the foundation. There's a reason that CrossFit, if you look at the pyramid that CrossFit puts in priority, nutrition is the base. It is the foundation. Everything else is built on top of that as far as the training program, because no amount of exercise can fix a broken diet. And so you don't have to follow like a specific named diet exactly, but working on getting the right portions of foods is going to be super helpful for you. So here's 4 things you can take with you as far as portions that help you put stuff on your plate and work on getting better quality food over time. So the first thing is protein, okay? Especially in a lifestyle of trying to work out consistently, trying to train hard, build some lean muscle, build that athletic body where you're able to perform well. You're going to need protein to support your hormones, to support your recovery, to support your performance. And so this is just going to make us more functional, help us feel better. And so a palm size is about the size of a portion of protein you're going to need. And so look at the size of your palm, the thickness of your palm, and all of our hands look different. All of our hands are different sizes. And so according to the size of your hand is the size of your portion of protein. If you want to like actually measure the weight, it's going to be roughly 4 ounces of meat, which is like 110 grams if you want to do grams. But really all I care about is like the hand size portion is going to be great for you. And some examples of really good lean protein sources going to be like lean cuts of red meat. It's going to be the poultry. It's going to be fish. It's going to be the whole egg. Also, some vegetarian sources could be tofu, tempeh. Could also be things like beans and lentils. These do have carbohydrate in them, but if you're vegan, you don't have any sort of animal products, this is going to be your primary source of protein-dense food. Is going to be beans and lentils. And so those are some proteins. So a palm-sized portion of protein. So that's going to be 2 per meal for men if you base it on a 3 meal per day diet. And so that's going to be roughly 6 portions all day long if you need to spread it out. And for ladies, it's going to be just 3 palms per day total. So that's 1 per meal. And so that's going to get you your base protein needs. And of course, if you're training super hard, you're training a lot, and you're training at a super high intensity on a regular basis, then you might need to add a little bit more, but this is a starting point for you. Next one is carbs, okay? So carbs is looks like a cupped handful, okay? So if you want to actually measure it out and not have to touch your food or anything like that, it's going to be around 1/2 to 3/4 cup if you use a measuring cup. And that's fully prepared, fully cooked carbs, whether that's potatoes, grains, breads, fruit or sweets, or even fruit juices. Like these all fall into the carbohydrate category because they're more carb dense than other foods. Okay, and so the beans and lentils also fall into this category of carbohydrates if you're not vegetarian or vegan. Okay, so that's carbohydrates. And again, for men, it's going to be 2 portions per meal, and for women, 1 portion per meal, or 6 and 3 throughout the entire day, respectively. And so that is, again, just a starting point. If you're trying to lose a little bit of body fat, then you might reduce your carbs a little bit by 1 or 1/2 portion each day. And if you're trying to gain weight, you're trying to gain a lot of mass, then you might want to increase your carbs. And yes, I am saying that you should have carbs, and we can work on what carbs you have as we go here. But for this type of workout that you're doing in a CrossFit gym, carbohydrates do really help you with maximum performance, unless you're very accustomed to having a very low carbohydrate diet for a long period of time. But for the typical person, for the average person coming in like myself, like definitely want to have a little bit of carbohydrates in my diet. If you're looking at a couple of cupped handfuls per meal, or even just at least 1 per meal, that's going to not add up to that much throughout the day. So the next one is fats. Fats is about the size of your thumb. Okay, or if you're actually using a measure, it's going to be 1 tablespoon. Some examples of healthy fats are going to be nuts and seeds, raw nuts and seeds, and also oils. And so that could be extra virgin olive oil or cold pressed coconut oil or things like butter or ghee, things like that. These are all different types of fats. And other fats will naturally occur in like your proteins if you're having meats, or there's some healthy fats in eggs also, but you don't measure those. You only measure the nuts and seeds and the oils. And so again, the portions is just 2 per meal for men or 1 per meal for women, or 6 and 3 respectively throughout the day. This is just getting a base thing. You put the protein on your plate first, and then you can put the carbohydrates and the fats next, and then you want to do vegetables, okay? So vegetables prepared however you like to cook them. You can use some of the oils that you use in your fat portions to saute them. You could have a salad on the side. You can use like a vinaigrette dressing or something on that. You know, you can put you can even put nuts in your salad if you want to get your fats in that way. But vegetables are the size of your fist. It's going to be around 3/4 to 1 cup of vegetables if you chop them up and you put inside of a measuring cup if you want to do that. But I like to just hold my fist up next to it, kind of eyeball it, and that gets you a general number. And why am I saying these hand portions? It's because these hand portions have actually been validated by Precision Nutrition to actually be just as accurate or even just as reliable as doing the actual calorie calculations, because actually calculating calories is a very inaccurate science because they're based on averages. And so depending on the size of food or what you're having that day, it may not be exact. And so all those food labels are based on averages. And so this hand portion system can be much more friendly for you, and you take it with you every day. You don't have to whip out an app or anything. It's not time consuming. You just eyeball it, put it on your plate, and there you go. And so that is some quick hand portions for you that you can take with you. So focusing on the portions that you have, your proteins, your carbohydrates, your fats, your vegetables, getting those each day, getting a well-rounded diet to balance out everything that you're taking in each day. And yes, you can eat that much each day. And as you're putting that on your plate, finding what you need, finding out what portions really work for you will be great for you to learn as you go. And so this is a good starting point that helps you see like, okay, this is what I have on my plate. Man, if I eat my protein and my veggies and I try to get those fats in, I'm just not hungry enough to finish the carbs, and that's totally fine. Or maybe I'm more hungry because I'm training so much, and so I need to add a little bit more. And so that's something you can play with. And if you want to have that conversation with me, let's get on a chat. Let's get together. I want to meet you in the gym, and so we want to help you guys work towards better nutrition as we go. But I want to give you guys a starting point here today.